Why did the earthquake in Turkey cause so much damage? The World Health Organization, WHO, estimates that the death toll in the February 6 earthquake in Turkey could reach 20,000. If true, it would be Turkey's worst natural disaster since 1939, when a similar earthquake killed more than 33,000 people. But what made the recent earthquake in Turkey one of the deadliest earthquakes in history? Strength level. A magnitude 7.8 earthquake is a very strong earthquake, especially for earthquakes with an epicenter on land. Most strong earthquakes occur in the ocean, far away from residential areas. Underwater earthquakes can kill people by triggering tsunamis. The proof is the 2011 tsunami that hit Japan after a 9.0 magnitude earthquake shook the ocean floor nearly 72 kilometers from the coast. And land-based earthquakes are equally destructive. For comparison, the deadliest earthquake in American history was the 1994 Northridge earthquake, which had a magnitude of 6.7 on the Richter scale. Los Angeles was hit hard, leaving at least 57 people dead and causing $20 billion in damage. High-rise buildings with weak structure. Turkey is one of the most geologically active countries in the world because it is located on the Anatolian Plate, between two major fault lines. Most modern cities in Turkey, especially those located on major fault lines, have strict building regulations that ensure buildings do not collapse easily during earthquakes. In the Turkish capital, Istanbul, most high-rise buildings are designed to withstand earthquakes. But Gaziantep, the city located near the center of the earthquake on the morning of 6 Haves, is different. Despite being a big city, Gaziantep is not as modern as Istanbul, and many apartment buildings are not built to the right standards. This is ultimately the cause of many high-rise buildings collapsing. In a video posted on social media, a building can be seen turning into rubble in the blink of an eye. Kishore Jaiswal, structural engineer with the U.S. Geological Survey, told the AP that such collapses are a sign that the building cannot withstand earthquakes. Syrian civil war. Located close to the epicenter, Syria also suffered significant damage and casualties from the earthquake. Turkey's southern neighbor, at least 1,444 people were killed. Like Turkey, this number is expected to grow. Syria is going through a civil war that has lasted for many years, with many buildings damaged by the fighting. As the Syrians carried out reconstruction, construction proceeded quickly and unattended. Like Gaziantep, this situation has made buildings in Syria not strong enough to withstand earthquakes. Weather hampers rescue efforts. When the earthquake struck, it was snowing in Gaziantep. By sunrise, the area was covered with a fairly thick layer of snow. This condition, combined with ice rain later in the day, made rescue efforts more difficult. The night temperature in Gaziantep has dropped to -5 degrees Celsius. The roads that had been damaged by the earthquake were now covered with ice and mud. Roads that were not affected were packed with residents trying to leave earthquake-stricken cities. In addition, most of the cities that suffered the earthquake were plunged into darkness due to power outages. All these causes cause the death toll to be higher than in the case of summer earthquakes. Trapped survivors face the risk of freezing to death. Lack of light and electricity made finding them even more difficult. Turkish officials say the death toll in the earthquake in the country has reached 3,419. In Syria, the death toll in government-controlled areas stands at 812, in rebel-controlled areas 790. In total, the earthquake on the morning of February 6 has killed 5,021 people, up to now.